So what is a trad wife?
A trad wife is a lady who embraces traditional gender roles where the man is the breadwinner and she is the domestic goddess.
So let me make sure I got it. Okay. So the trad wife or traditional wife is a lady who embraces traditional gender roles where the man is the breadwinner and the woman is the domestic goddess.
Yeah.
She reigns as the domestic goddess. Beautiful. Now, I also understand that you love acting and you did win a role in a play where you play a character that's similar. Would you like to talk about it?
Yes, I would love to talk about it. I play the role of Victoria, and she has the same values that I do.
Okay, by any chance, do you have the script so we can go over maybe the first 2 lines? Okay, so there's a mentor, as in real life. Your character's name is what?
Victoria.
Okay, so the mentor says to Victoria, if you could choose between an ideal man or ideal cash, what would you choose? And what does Victoria say?
I'd definitely choose the ideal man because he'd already have ideal cash. And more importantly, he'd treat me with the respect and care of a true gentleman, just like those guys from the Victorian Regency era. Did you see the Bridgertons?
Okay, so that's what she asked the mentor. Okay, but her answer is pretty clear, and I'm just kind of curious when I look at that answer. So she did not choose money. She chose the ideal man.
Yes.
All right. I have asked a lot of ladies that question because, I'm also involved in the plays,
Yes.
And so a lot of younger women were kind of divided. Some were saying they wanted their own money. And almost everybody that was over the age of 35, all of the women were saying that they wanted the ideal man. Why do you think that women over 35 are choosing the ideal man over ideal money?
Well, I don't have a problem with money, and I would prefer the traditional relationship with the ideal man over cash.
And that's your right. That is your constitutional right, that is your divine right, and your universal right. So more power to you, girl.
Thank you.
All right, let's look at the script again.
Okay.
Let's call up the script again, because I want to ask you this, because in the script where you respond, I definitely choose the ideal man. So that would be you in reality.
Yes, that is.
Now, it says here, because he'd already have the ideal cash. Would your ideal man already have the ideal cash?
He would.
Okay. And then you say, and more importantly, he would treat you with respect and care. So being treated with respect and care from a man in a relationship is more important than money.
Yes.
I see. Okay. All right. So you do like the line where your character says, he would treat me with respect and care of a true gentleman.
Yes.
Okay. So your concept of a true gentleman would be, I guess, symbolized or mirrored by the guys from the Victorian Regency era.
It is.
Okay. Now, why did you ask me? Now, why do you think the character asked the mentor, did he see the Bridgertons?
Well, my thought is that it's a great current cultural reference point where you can see those values on display.
Well, yeah, and then not only that, but the mentor could also gather that you're on top of things, because this is a 2025 play.
Okay.
And so you're bringing up a Regency era drama. Well, do you think that men in general have manners of a Victorian gentleman? Men in general?
No.
Not in general?
Not in general.
But do you see episodes of it from time to time?
I do, yes. I do see episodes of it. I just feel men in general currently do not.
Okay, now, do you think they dressed better back then, or how are guys dressing today? Look around.
It depends.
As we're sitting here in this car, there's men walking everywhere. Look at those men over there. Look at the man over there. Like what? What do you see?
I see hoodies.
Jeans, baseball caps.
Lots of baseball caps.
Okay.
Lots of baseball caps, jeans, and hoodies.
All right. So would you consider that a well-dressed man?
No.
Probably.
That's a very casually dressed man.
Okay. That's not even casual where I come from. I come from New York. We wouldn't even consider that
East Coast
casual.
cash is definitely different.
That's California.
No denim.
California
no denim.
cash. Because,
that is California cash.
Years ago, when I would take a flight somewhere, everybody would get kind of cleaned up and dressed up.
My mom tells me stories like that.
The last time I was on a plane, everybody was in their PJs. Sweatshirts.
Well, flying commercial travel now is just not comfortable. And I think people dress for comfort because they're being put in a position that's very uncomfortable and not luxurious being commercial travel.
I think that is true because they got rid of the 747s. They got rid of the space. They got rid of the space that you had before when leaning back. But let's go back to the script here.
Okay.
So the script here where your character Victoria desires to be a trad wife.
Mm-hmm.
The second line, you have your script handy there?
Yes.
Because he says, in the play, he would say, all right, so if you're thinking Victorian Regency era, you want a gentleman of that caliber. He raises a good question in the play. He says, do you want to bring back the patriarchy? Now, let's have your response in line 4. So let's just read line 3 and line 4. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
I'm the mentor.
Okay.
So do you want to bring back the patriarchy?
Not in the negative sense. There's a positive side to the patriarchy. I mean, I've always felt that men should protect and provide for their families.
Okay, so that's what Victoria says in the play.
Yeah.
Now, in reality, do you want to bring back the patriarchy?
No, not in the negative sense.
So you feel the same way Victoria does?
This is very in alignment, which is fascinating.
Okay.
It's a great articulation of things that I believe.
So you do believe in the part where men should protect and provide?
Yes.
That's the traditional role again, that you want to embrace that role of the traditional housewife. Mm-hmm. And there are women that are doing it. We see it on TikTok, we see it on YouTube, and some of them are doing very, very well. And then there's also this negative side that they're talking about, but that negative side is because the woman is not a domestic goddess. Sometimes you can be a trad wife and be a trad slave. But we're not talking about being a trad wife, trad slave. We're talking about trad wife, domestic goddess. Okay. And I think this is what the play is introducing to ladies, how to be the domestic goddess as a trad wife. And this should be quite interesting.
Okay.
So line 6, she says, what? After he raises the question, after he raises the question, do you want to bring back the patriarchy? Then you say not in a negative sense. There's a positive side to the patriarchy. Mm-hmm. And what is the positive side to the patriarchy in your mind?
That men provide and protect their families.
Good. That's positive in a loving way.
Yes.
Okay. So now number 5, the mentor responds by saying, okay, so you favor the whole gender role thing where men are the primary breadwinners and the ladies handle the domestic chores, raising the kids and maintaining the home.
Exactly.
The mentor continues. In other words, you want to be a trad wife.
What is your definition of a trad wife?
Okay, now the mentor is going to define the trad wife by saying, okay, the trad wife is a lady. You notice he doesn't say woman.
He doesn't say woman. That's a great observation.
Because there's a difference because ladies have standards. A lot of women don't.
Ouch.
So he continues, okay, a trad lady, trad wife. He continues, okay, a trad wife is a lady who embraces the traditional gender roles in a relationship, meaning as a traditional wife, you prefer to focus on homemaking, supporting your husband, and caring for your children.
That's what I want.
That's what Victoria's response is. That's what I want. Is that what you want in reality?
Absolutely.
I think this play has been custom designed for you. What do you think?
It seems like it's helped me articulate things too, because sometimes people put you on the spot and you just don't know how to share your belief system and your values.
Well, yeah, because you know it in your mind, mm-hmm. but you don't know how to express it in a way that they would understand it, in a way that you would hope that they would understand it.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the main reasons why Phil McGraw, Dr. Phil, when he first met Oprah Winfrey in Texas during the lawsuit she had from the cattlemen, mm-hmm. accusing her of hurting the business when she spoke against beef, he was doing these mock trials. And he was telling Oprah, you know how to talk on that show, but knowing how to talk in a courtroom is going to be very, very different. You just can't talk freestyle like that. Every word you say must count. You must know how to answer these questions because you don't know the traps that people are setting up for you when they set up a question for you. Because usually in a court of law, any skilled attorney or prosecutor is going to ask you a question already knowing what your answer is going to be because he boxes you in.
Yes.
So you're going to be prepared to be boxed in. And a lot of times we as human beings have to be prepared for how we box ourselves in by our own beliefs and our own lack of ability to express ourselves.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how many times I was in court where, as a minister, I'd go to, support maybe, a defendant, or to be there for moral support, or to give advice or whatever. And as I would listen to other cases unfold, I would be amazed at how many people started off sounding like a mess. And I said, this person is not going to win this case. Some traffic infraction.
Yeah.
And then as they continued to talk, the judge could see through the fog of this man's conversation and say, wait a minute, there's some truth in here. And then the judge had to help him articulate his case, and then he won.